It's my great pleasure to announce that DHL Stormers to face the South Sea Sharks on the weekend at Newlands. Starting at the back is Dylan Lades, Siabella Sonatla, JJ Engelbrecht, Damien de Allende, Edward van der Merwe, Joshua Stander, Janu van Mark, Jaco Kutsia, Johan de Toy, Ernst van Rijn, Chris van Zyl, Kobus Visa, Frans Moherbe, Bongi Mbanambi, and Stephen Kitshoff as captain. On the replacements bench is Skara Ntabeni, Corne Ferrie, Wilco Lowe, David Mayers, and Chris Massain, Justin Phillips, Jean-Luc Duplessis, and Dan Creel.
Good week of preparation, Rob?
It has, probably better than the last 2 weeks in the sense of the injury situation. So, I mean, obviously only really Herschel is the one guy that's missing from the lineup from last week in terms of from an injury point of view. But we were able to train effectively on Tuesday and today. So we had good meetings on Monday and then a very good session on Tuesday and ended off on a high today. So it was great for once, to have some continuity in terms of our training and our preparation.
Fleck Herschel was, not to take anything away from Janu's experience and so on, Herschel was a very important component in your attacking game. Possibly also with individualism and so on, and that ability to spot the gap and so on. Is it going to be difficult for you to compensate for that, so to speak?
No, not at all. I think that, the guys that, like you said, Janu van Mark did an outstanding job when he came on. He brought that leadership and experience, and certainly the decisions that he made against the Sunwolves were all on the right side. So with Herschel, obviously, he's been outstanding this year. He's had a great season, and he will be missed. Not just from an attacking point of view, but from a defensive point of view as well. He's been outstanding. So, he's that speed and that, like you said, that sort of ability to break around the edges on the breakdown have been quite key for us in some of the tries that we have scored this year. So, but I don't think his loss is going to impact too much in terms of the way we want to play. I felt, like I said, Janu was pretty good on the weekend, and then obviously Justin has been with us for most of the season, sitting on the bench, so he understands the way we want to play and how we go about things. So, but yes, Herschel is a loss, but I'm pretty happy with the next two guys that have come up and filled the spot.
And how important is it Damien de Allende's return, because the Sharks are such a gain line team? He can give you some go forward on the game.
Well, Damien is massive for us, another key player. I felt that he's been outstanding this season, and especially in the games, if you think about the Crusaders and the Highlanders, the way he played. He was missed, against the Sunwolves in terms of just giving us some direction and a bit of width to our game, and I feel that's where, he's done really well this year. He's really taken control. He's been that link man between the outside backs and what's happening up front. He gets us that go forward when required, but his kicking game has come along as well, and and once or twice he's put some guys into space. So we're very happy that he's back. I felt that Dan Creel last week also played well. He created that one try in the first half. But just that experience of having Damien back and just giving the confidence to the outside guys that he's there and giving us a bit of momentum. And like you say, defensively he's incredibly strong, and with the way that the Sharks like to play, they attack the vacuum quite effectively with Esterhazen, and they bring their big forwards around. So he's going to play a critical role in stopping that.
Josh Sunday, is that about kind of a solidity of low error rate?
Yeah, look, I think that Josh, that the games that he did play and when he started, he did well. So, and the way that JL came off the bench, in the games against the Crusaders and the Highlanders, he brought energy and he brought a different dynamic. So we're actually comfortable now with that start, with Josh starting and JL coming off the bench.
It's such a long season. The squad must be quite excited. You can to get a playoff spot if you win and all that, to show something for the season, all the work put in the season.
Yeah, definitely, Craig. I think that we've had to work incredibly hard to get to where we are. I think that halfway through the competition, it was pretty tough going for us, and we had one or two results which were close, but those losses sort of put us in the back foot, and we've had to sort of fight our way back the number of injuries that we've incurred in the second half of the competition, it's been pretty difficult for us to, put our plans in place and get some continuity in selection and in the way we train. But the boys have done phenomenally well. Every week they pick themselves up, whether it's a win or a loss. They've bought into the plans and they get excited about the plans. So, it's been no different this week. We're not really focusing on the quarterfinals of the playoffs yet. It's just about the result in the weekend. If we win, we go through, and wherever our travels lead us, we look forward to that on Sunday. But it's all about the Sharks and getting a result this weekend. If we lose, then we're pretty much out of the competition. So it's been a good week in that regard, and just getting that focus right on the Sharks. And the players have brought their part, with buying into the plans and bringing in the energy. And like I said, with all the injuries that we've had, every day, the players have come in, trained hard, contributed in the meetings, regardless of whether they've played, had one game for the Stormers or played 60. So it's certainly, there's excitement around the camp in order, for about the result in the weekend, and that's all we can focus on.
Can we have you also from the players side and the squad, the possibility now of winning on Saturday and making the playoffs? Is that got a bit of excitement and something to really work towards?
Yeah, definitely. I think this whole week's preparation has been just to win this game and main focus on the Sharks. I haven't really been thinking a lot about the playoffs, but I think during the preparation planned on how we're going to face the Sharks and our game plan we want to enforce onto them. So that's been the main driver this week.
The Sharks having Beast back, how much of a difference do you think that will make for this?
I think Beast brings a lot of experience to their pack. He's a good physical scrummager, carries the ball well, so I think he's going to play a big role in their teams, even in the team and in their motivation. But yeah, we got Frans Malherbe and Wilco coming off the bench, so I mean they just experience and this quality of scrummagers and ball players. So yeah, it's exciting.
How about yourself against Thomas du Toit? Can you say something on scrum?
Yeah, played against Cooney and Thomas a couple of times before, so I know their strengths and their weaknesses. So it's going to be a set piece. Overall, it's going to be a tough challenge this weekend. And I think during the week's preparation went well, so really looking forward to it.
Robbie, to be honest now, you must be happy with all the injuries for the Sharks. And what do you expect from the Sharks team, the normal Sharks team? What do you expect from Saturday?
Oh, Craig, from a coaching point of view, whether it's your team or another team, you're never happy about injuries. But look, they've had one or two now, late withdrawals, but that's the nature of this competition. We've had to deal with it over the last month. And it's just about the mindset, during the week that you set for the players and how the players sort of adjust and deal with the injuries themselves, and really for us it's just about creating excitement about the new guys coming in and just welcoming them and making them feel confident. So that's how you deal with injuries. In terms of the Sharks, look, I mean they're a tough side to play against. I think that I think defensively they're really strong. They're up there with the Crusaders in terms of their defensive style, and they look to get doubles, and they're quite aggressive, in the tackle, and they look to stop all sorts of momentum, and they look well organised. Likewise in their set piece, like Kitshoff said, they're very strong. Good solid scrum, good line out, operating line out, and a good driving maul. So that's a threat. And I think what they've brought different, to previous campaigns, they brought a bit of width to their game. Certainly we saw that in the last sort of 10-15 minutes against the Jaguars, where they were able to spread the ball around and shift points of attack, and they've got a nice little attacking kicking game with and Fussy at the back there. So look, they're threats all around the park, So we've done our homework, like Kitshoff said, and we've got to enforce our plan on them. We can't worry too much about their strengths. I mean, their strengths are quite obvious in terms of their physical game, but it's about us, really impacting on our game and the way we want to play.
Rob, you just mentioned going to be too focused on what they're going to bring, but the Sharks have been known to come here and just flip the script with things over the top or from behind the ruck, which caught you offside many times in games you played them. Is there a certain thing to their pattern that they've been playing that you could figure it out in the season that they're going to do something like that to you again?
Oh, I think that they always will bring something like that. Like I said, you know, they've advanced their game in terms of their attacking kicking game, you know, with Am, you know, in the wide channel, Fussy there, he can kick with his left and his right. You know, they've got some real threats out wide, obviously, with Nkosi and Mpimpi. So, and then they've got a decent kicking game with both Louis and Robert, you know, driving the process there. So, I think that the Sharks will always come up with little tricks, you know, initially. Especially at set piece, you know, when it comes to the maul, you know, they always have, you know, different little options that they've got, and they'll try things against us, and that's great, you know. I mean, we've got to be prepared for that. There will be something that's going to come our way that we haven't seen before, but if we deal with it effectively and we enforce our plan on them, you know, then I think they'll revert back to what they know best, and that's probably a physical game, and you know, we need to stop that, you know. In the Currie Cup final, they certainly were abrasive. They slowed the game down against the Province boys, and that tempo suited them. You know, they wanted to play a physical game, and they wanted to win it up front. So, you know, we've done our homework, not just on this campaign that they've embarked on this year, but we looked at what was successful from their side last year in the Currie Cup. So we've done our homework, and you know, and we're prepared for anything. But like I said, it's about us enforcing our own plan on them.
All right.
Just one for kids in Afrikaans.
Asseblief.
Can you ask it in Afrikaans, please?
Yeah.
Then we can give it back.
I'm going to ask in Beluga and Kosa as well.
Steven, ja, belangrike wedstryd vir julle Saterdag, waar julle gaan verseker dat julle na die ysbourondes toe gaan. Wat was die fokus net die week?
Ja, ek dink is definitief 'n belangrike wedstryd vir ons in voorbereiding, en moontlik 'n wen die naweek gaan 'n plek vir ons in die ysbourondes verseker. So ja, ek dink die voorbereiding was regtig goed geweest die week. Ons het ons huiswerk gedoen. Die ouens is excited en reg om goeie rugby te speel. Ek dink ja, die Sharks het 'n goeie pak en baie fisiese ouens in die agterlyn met goeie ball carriers. So ek dink die week se voorbereiding was baie goed geweest, en ons weet hoe belangrik die game vir ons is, en ek dink ja, dit het regtig goed gegaan, en ons weet wat om te doen die naweek om ons gameplan uit te voer op hulle Saterdag.
Laastens, seker jou eerste maak of breek wedstryd as kaptein. Hoe voel jy daaroor?
Ja, ek het nog nie so in detail oor gedink nie, maar dit is definitief baie belangrike vir my, en vir my as kaptein, en ja, ek dink dit is belangrik om net die span bymekaar te hou die naweek, en die ouens excited te hou vir die volle 80 minute. En ja, ek is baie opgewonde daaroor, en ek dink dit gaan 'n groot wees, en baie belangrik een vir baie van die ouens, want ons baie ouens wat ook weggaan hierdie jaar. So dit is 'n groot wedstryd, moontlike laaste wedstryd op Newlands. So ek dink die ouens is regtig opgewonde en sien baie daarna.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, guys.